What is up, guys? It's your man Evil Eye Dre here, and I am back with another Black Ops 4 video. Now, I know it's been a while since you guys seen me stream, been a while since you guys seen me post a video, so I thought I'd go ahead and give you this video where I want to talk about, basically what I would nerf and what I would buff when it comes to the weapons balance patch that's probably going to be coming soon to Black Ops 4. So, a lot of you guys, you guys live by the motto that if you're good at something, stick with it. That same motto usually goes with Call of Duty players, because if you're good with one gun, you usually stick with that one gun over and over again. A lot of Call of Duty players lean towards the more overpowered type weapon. A lot of Call of Duty players try to be, they try to challenge themselves and use every gun. A lot of Call of Duty players will stick with one weak weapon just to prove that they actually are good, you know what I'm saying? So here's the way that I would actually buff and nerf things. So the first thing that I'm finna say nerf, this is gonna probably break a lot of people's hearts because it's one of my favorite guns, but honestly it needs to be nerfed. The Spitfire. A lot of people will probably tell me that I sound dumb for saying that the Spitfire needs a nerf, but I would like to just point out one thing. Okay, first of all, the Spitfire was probably the easiest SMG to get gold, and even before they gave that buff to all the SMGs, the Spitfire was good ahead of time. It was but it was in a perfect state. Like before they actually buffed all of them, it was in a state where if you actually knew the gun's strengths and weaknesses, you were good with it. They gave all the SMGs a buff, and here's what happened. First of all, you don't see anybody using a cordite. People sleep on a cordite. You don't see anybody using. Well, the GKS deserves to be slept on, because even though that shit has no recoil, that gun has 0.5 damage per bullet. Like, that gun is complete trash. And the SOG, every Call of Duty has a gun like the SOG, so I wouldn't even buff or nerf the SOG. I'll just leave it where it's at. I'd nerf the stock 2 attachment on it though, because the way that it looks on your screen when you're moving side to side, holy shit, bro. But let's talk about why the Spitfire deserves to be nerfed. See, the Spitfire is a gun that has a hell of a fast fire rate, so that means it's supposed to melt, up close and personal. It's supposed to be kind of like the Vesper, kind of like the Scorpion Eagle, bro, in Black Ops 2, right? Well, when you look at it, on paper, stats say that that's what it's supposed to do. But when you actually play Black Ops 4, you see that literally it does more than that. First of all, this is what throws me off. I know the wildfire attachment will bring it more onto what I'm talking about, but then it has stupid recoil, and that where you can only melt people up close. Here is what I feel. The Spitfire is a gun that you should only be able to gun people up close with, and maybe up close to the beginning of some mid-range. What you can do with that gun, and I don't want to hear that it takes some skill to do it, because for some reason I see everybody do it. The Spitfire in its current state right now is probably one of the most really strong weapons in the game. You got noobs using it, all the sweats use it, and I feel like this. Anytime a gun is so easy to use that it can map somebody, the Spitfire is really good. I've used it in both core and hardcore. Plenty of people will probably tell you it's trash in hardcore, but when I was going for my camo challenges, shit, I didn't have an issue using it. I was one tapping everything. But the Spitfire just has, I don't know, because they added the controllable recoil or predictable recoil feature. The Spitfire in this current meta, it deserves to be nerfed. It's just too easy to use. Now, what else? Like I said, I also said I would nerf the SOG, not damage wise, just the stock 2 attachment, because the SOG already has a really good mobility with it, and when you put stock 2 on it, people just move side to side at the speed of light. I'm sure you guys have seen this before if you play some people in your game. Now, the next gun that I would nerf, and I'm sure everybody would agree with me on this one, nerf the Titan. Okay, no other LMG gives us any problems more than the Titan. LMGs are meant to be powerful, and I get that, you know what I'm saying? It's a light machine gun, but at the same damn time, bruh, for what it's worth, the Titan seems to excel at everything. The reason why the Titan is better than the Hades is because although that the Hades has a faster fire rate, it's a 4 to 5 shot kill, and I think sometimes you can even make the Titan a 3 to 4. I don't know if that's true. Maybe I could be wrong, but the Hades just, I don't know, it just doesn't sit with me like that. The VKM is nasty. Don't get me wrong. That gun is nasty, but it doesn't really have the greatest mobility, so you don't see too many people using the Hades. The Titan just seems to feel the best. Plus, it has the most overpowered operator mod, bruh. I remember when nobody knew about half of this stuff in Black Ops 4. I remember when nobody knew about the strobe light shotgun, or when nobody knew about the fire shotguns, or nobody knew about the freaking operator mod that shook the map. I thought oppressor meant that it was like a built-in suppressor. I'm thinking like, okay, secretly oppressor is some crap that shakes the map, bro. It's just, no, the Titan needs to get nerfed to shit, okay? Because even the BRM in Black Ops 3 wasn't this bad. And hell, if we go back to World War II, the Lewis wasn't even this bad. And the Lewis was pretty much the cancer of shipment. I'm sure you've seen plenty of people get V2s sitting on the head glitch shooting through the wall. I've definitely done it. Okay, what else would I nerf? As far as nerfing goes, I would say personally that, and this is gonna sting to a couple of people because a lot of people make this argument. Okay, now in my opinion, all the SMGs are good, right? But the one SMG that I seen the C get, I mean not SMG, AR, it plays like an SMG. But the one AR that I see to get like, what? The one I seen to get killed with the most, because I've used it myself. Everybody has the same class, the Maddox, Elo, double quick draw stock. Literally, honestly, that is probably one of the most overused class setups in the game. I'm not a Maddox fan myself. I mean, I like the Maddox. Like, if I'm playing some sweaty ass people, I will pull it out. But I'd much rather, you know, use different guns. I like to have fun. I like to use the Vapor, the KN, the Rampart. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really an ICR fan myself either, because I just don't like how the ICR feels. Like, I don't like how it has no mobility because there's no stock, so I just have to stand there in pre-aim areas with it. But regardless, yeah, you know, I feel like Canada Maddox might catch a slight nerf. I mean, they nerfed it before, but it's like, I don't get it, because like the Maddox, it outguns SMGs for the most part, and for what it's worth, it seems to me it's a pretty simple gun to use. Now, I know people use it in competitive, which is probably why it won't catch a nerf. And in my honest opinion, do I think that it desperately needs a nerf? No. Would I nerf the Maddox? Just a little bit. I'm not saying nerf the gun because it's good. I'm saying nerf the gun so we can see, you know, different guns when you play. That's pretty much the main go-to gun that everybody goes to when they trying to sweat. Hell, I'm pretty sure even if you noticed in this video, people, as soon as the game started, the first thing somebody pulled out was that Maddox class setup that I just mentioned. And here's the funniest part about it, right? So, I just don't get like why people only use the Maddox and Spitfire. There are other valuable guns in the game that you can use, but people only tip ride the most I wouldn't say overpowered, because I mean, you know, you can outgun somebody with a Maddox, but for the most part, the Maddox has a faster fire rate than most of the ARs in the game. So I mean, you know what I'm saying, if you're a little shaky with those shots, you might get outgunned. Not necessarily though. Now here's what I would buff though. I would buff the MX9 back to the way it was in the beta, because the MX9 in the beta of Black Ops 4, God tier. I would also buff, I wouldn't even say, honestly, sometimes I wish you could add attachments. I know they won't, but like, for instance, guns like the Swordfish, I don't like how I have to play with this gun. I want to rush everything, but because this is a Swordfish and there's no stock, I can't rush everything. Now, I would buff the AVR. The AVR to me is trash. I don't see no reason to use the AVR whatsoever. Honestly, like do something to that gun. Oh, here's another gun that needs a buff. The GKS. Because the way I see it, for what it's worth, the GKS should have just a little bit more damage. You know what I'm saying? There's no rapid fire for it. And to me, the GKS of this game is the Razorback of Black Ops 3. So with that being said, they could at least add either add the ability to add rapid fire to it, or just like give it an overall damage buff. Because to me, that gun is pure trash. That shit shoots. It's just trash. It's just trash. You know, I remember they nerfed the Vapor. That was one of my favorite guns at the start of the game. And the Vapor, technically speaking, it has the best mobility out of all the ARs. So you have like the mobility of an SMG, but it's like an AR. My thing with that gun is, it's just, it's never been trash, but I would just give it a slight buff. The Rampart. Now the Rampart got a buff, and this is what I can't seem to understand a while ago. Why is it that the Rampart is so slept on? Everybody would rather dick ride a Elo Quick Draw 2 stock freaking Maddox class setup, but they would never rock the Rampart. Sure, it doesn't have stock, but the Rampart is probably one of the best guns in the game. But people only use the Spitfire and the Maddox. I would never understand why nobody has any like variety in their gun skill. Hell, even a suppressed KN is good, but nobody uses it. Everybody just rather use the same. And I know this is in every Call of Duty. Every Call of Duty, everybody uses the top tier weapons, you know, the best guns in the game, and I get it, you know what I'm saying? but like still, you just gotta think to yourself, like, maybe if these changes was made, you would see more of a variety in your gameplay. Because it's nothing worse than you hop into a lobby to chill. You know, you probably messing around, joking around in a party, and the first thing you see as soon as you come in the lobby is some dude sweating his balls off with a Spitfire. You know, or a Maddox. I just feel like, you know what I'm saying, if we nerf these overpowered ass guns, we could actually have some gun variety, because people go leaning towards more of these guns for the simple fact that pretty much every other gun in the game doesn't really compete that well. And I ain't gonna lie to you, AR wise, I feel like the ARs are in a decent state, but I just feel like the Maddox needs to be toned down just a little bit. I mean, hell, you can see it's probably one of the best guns to use, because you don't see anything else used in competitive other than the ICR. And I mean, I get it, and I'm not talking about like nerfing and buffing ARs as far as competitive goes, because I'm not a competitive player. I'm a person who plays pubs, and from a pubs perspective, I would love to see, you know, maybe some slight changes made, some slight tuning made, but definitely nerf the Spitfire. That shit right there, for what it's worth, it doesn't deserve to, you know what I'm saying, it shouldn't be the top weapon. I would love to see people use other guns. Shit, pick up what you see me using in the video. Pick up a swordfish with pentaburst. You know what I'm saying? Switch it up instead of constantly using the same guns every game. So be prepared, because if they do make some changes, what I mentioned in this video might be exactly what they touch. And with all that being said, guys, my name's Evil Dre. Smacking lobbies is my hobby. And if you enjoyed the video, please sure to drop a like, subscribe, turn on notifications if you're new, and leave down in the comment section below, what would you like to see nerfed and buffed in Black Ops 4? And I will see all of you guys in the next video. Peace out.